sometimes. Maybe all the time. Anybody else for public comment?
Casey Kelly,
Casey?
on behalf of American Legion Post 1402 here in Inlet and Racket Lake. I hadn't been it before the board in a while, but I just wanted to thank you for your continued support of our local veterans and the post. As a quick update, I wanted to say that with our Military Heroes Banner program, hopefully next week, well, they guaranteed me before Memorial Day weekend, we'll have 15 new banners and 11 in Racket Lake, and that puts our total 64
Wow.
64 veterans honored in both towns.
That's awesome.
It is.
Good job.
Unless you had any questions, that's all I.
Just thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thought they had polls for long.
No, and
Hang them on.
service out front on Memorial Day.
Yes, thank you. Got some time so I wouldn't forget. So we do our wreath laying at 9 a.m. Then we go to Racket Lake. We do it again at 10 at the Veterans Memorial there. Immediately after the wreath laying here at Inlet, we'll have a reception at the Inlet Library. And then at noon, we're going to do something a little different here in town. The procedure for the flag coach says on Memorial Day, the flag is supposed to be at half mast until noon of American colors, and we've never done that. So this year, with the town's permission, we'd like to lower the flag at sunrise, and then at noon raise it back up, and just be a quick ceremony to do that. And then at 1 o'clock, the Hamilton County Memorial Day Parade is an Indian Lake.
Indian Lake.
I think it's 2 o'clock.
2 p.m. Excuse me.
Excellent. Nope, good idea on the flag at half mast. Anybody else for public comment?
We've been talking about that mural and the placement, and so I don't know that Jeremiah has not been conversant with Mike about it since probably a month and a half ago, and Mike sounded a little bit more, but he wanted, more positive, but he wanted to wait until the snow went away. So we were looking for the options today, and there's still out in front of the doorway there, that, it's the escape route for the justices. We could put it out there on the grass with posts, or we were looking at the wall between the door, and it would be underneath, some coverage. So that was those were two options. And then over at Nelson's Cottages, they volunteered to have us potentially put it over there on that corner right before you go into the boat launch. We're a little bit nervous about there's kind of a lumber turn right there, and whether visually it would be an impairment. So we'd have to, go through the motion on that. And we looked at the library, but probably either one of those would be the most visible and probably easiest to put up. But it's 8 by 8, so it's 2 4-foot pieces of plywood, and it's painted on one side. So we looked at the one down in Eagle Bay, and that's only painted on one side, and it's doing fine because it's pressure treated. But if you get a chance, we'd love to have you go out and take a look at some point at those two options there. And like I said, at Nelson's, it's right near the tree, and right just before from going from that way, just before you pull into the boat launch area.
The side of the building sounds intriguing.
It does, and I mean, I like Nelson's coming forward with that, but it would also be nice if we could find a place to put it on the campus where people could standing there see it, especially from the ice cream stand or whatever.
Right.
Are you of that thought or?
Yeah, absolutely. And so mounted to the building is
Right.
what we're thinking.
Right, because you're not blocking
It would be
it.
protected, it would be.
Under the
blocking.
eaves, it's kind of protected. because-
Between your windows and the Justice store?
Correct.
Now, there is a pipe that goes down there.
For my mini
to
split.
That, but if you came out from, the.
Made a bracket to mount it on.
Yeah,
Faced it out.
brought it out.
You just brought it out from the wall.
Sure.
But yeah, if you take a look at that, see what you think, and we don't have the contact with Mike, Jeremiah was gonna, talk to him again, but
I think the spot on the building, I prefer that as opposed to on a post in the lawn because, you know, the cutting the grass, the snow,
Yeah.
all those other things.
I think that sounds great.
And I think the building's gonna stand out more to people to see. Mike could have been, no, not Mike, Mike's taking sewer training tonight, so he couldn't be here.
The mural itself, when it was originally designed, it was designed to be mounted to a side of a building,
Yeah.
so it just would be better.
Almost more fitting
Yeah.
all the way around.
I have no problem letting Mike know that we think that's the preferred location and hope
See
that
what-
he
see what he
agrees.
thinks.
Yeah, I think it's a good solution.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan gets to tell Mike that tomorrow then.
All right, I'll break it into him.
All right, thank you, Connie. Public comment, anything else? Oh,
I've been tasked by many inquiring minds, I know I come to these meetings to ask if anybody knows what's going on with rivets and their clear cutting property. I mean, it all started with the side of the hill where they're storing boats, which was, you know, quite a sore there. And now it's progressed through the clear cutting along the stream that feeds directly into Eagle Bay. And is there a plan that I'm not aware of?
They didn't come to us with one, and they have one on file with the APA with the previous owner that pretty strictly dictated what they could and couldn't do. I hate to throw this back at the APA. But this is with the water situation with the trees. You know, if they cut the trees between 28 and the boat storage, I know there's a hefty fine built into the permit that was put in there. I don't know about the trees on the other part of their property.
they cut right up next to the horse barn there.
Yeah, they've done the same thing down in Old Forge behind
I
their,
wasn't gonna bring that up because this is an old forge, but
well, it's indicative of what they seem to be doing for their properties.
I wonder, I mean, do they have something against the trees? Is there some sort of master plan? No, I'm not a, Dan will tell you as he's taking down trees on my property. I'm not a tree hugger opposed to taking down certain trees. Clear cut.
Yeah.
The scar that they
I don't know why.
that creates is just mind boggling.
Is there anything in the state code or the town code?
The DEC or APA.
It's DEC or APA.
We don't have anything in our zoning.
And they've come to us, they've come to us for no permit for new construction. And that quite honestly was the other thing that would trip the APA permit that allowed them to put the two boat buildings up down there. The only thing I could think of when I saw it first happening in Old Forge and then it started happening up here is they're trying to create more area where they can store boats. And I don't know if they're gonna terrace it or what, but if they don't do some erosion control, they'll have the DEC on them
I
fast.
know that there was a DEC truck there last week sometime that was parked there for some.
Then they're already on it.
Yeah, there were some good evidence.
And I don't know if that's a situation where they know, yeah, we're gonna get a fine, we'll pay the fine and, no big deal. But I don't know, I'm preaching to the choir.
But they did cut a lot down on the lakeside too.
They've gone all the way down to the
You know,
marina itself.
look at the marina side, it's completely open.
Is there anything that, the town we can do, express to DEC or?
As an individual, I suppose. right?
Strongly worded. strongly.
Yeah, you could do that.
In the fall, they had tons of boats out on that side hill. It's like, oh my God, those are gonna slide down the hill and into the horse barn or whatever. And then they moved most of those indoors, but they still had trailers and stuff.
We can reach out to DEC and see what's going on. At this point in time, if they're already in there with their interagency stuff going on, maybe they can give me an answer and I can share that with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be great.
But at this point with our regulations, property aesthetics or anything, we don't have anything to stand on that. We've had to deal with it on other issues with garbage or too much stuff on property in the past. And you have to wield a level sword across, if somebody else wanted to clear cut around their house and there was a small piece of property, you know, should they get a fine too? You know, where do you start or stop or whatever? But I agree, my personal statement, that I don't like the way it looks. So thank you.
And that said, Dan, you just come by sometime, look at the tree.
Okay, Steve.
When you're in the neighborhood.
I'm with you, though. I get the tall white pines, the dead maples, the other thing, the birches, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, I think, look at our park, you know, we get beat up every time we take down 2 trees. I'm not taking down 20 trees, but we're taking down the ones that could cause harm. That's what we do, and we would like to lead by example with that. I'll reach out to the DEC.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? There's another public comment. You want to wait? We'll dive into the meeting. Do you have highway report?
Yes. Hauled garbage and recyclables, checked roads after rainstorms, swept downtown parking lots, Toby Trail, town and county roads, cold patched holes on roads, cleaned up and repaired the Townsend Trail, put Fourth Lake Dock in with the assistance from the DEC, pushed off stump dump, raked Uncas Road, Evans Drive, and Gilbert Road, built new set of stairs for garbage compactor at transfer station, serviced some equipment, brought roll-off truck to Utica Mac for repairs and picked it up. I would like to thank the town of Long Lake for hauling for us when our truck was in the shop. Cleaned up spots we damaged, plowing snow and seeded them, checked Moose River Plains road conditions, blew off Moose River Plains road surface, removed trees and fixed washouts, unposted town and county roads. Coming up, haul garbage and recyclables. Brush week is the week of June 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Please have all brush at roadside. Call the highway garage to get put on the list. Get Moose River Plains Road ready for gates opening. Install banners on poles for the Legion. Put up American flags on the poles. Stripe the parking lots. Start working on the Elaine Townsend Trail and mow roadside grass.
You didn't put it in there, but on the brush, make sure it's clean brush, not stacked with leaves and dirt and stuff like that. And stumps. Just brush.
What was the date for that?
It's the week of June 2nd.
2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
You mentioned anything about that? You talked about potentially getting a couple of cameras for the highway garage. And he's
He hasn't
gonna,
said anything about it.
He's,
Yeah.
he's been in touch with somebody, but they haven't designed anything yet.
well, like I said, we'll get some concepts. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need them. We do need to.
yeah, so he's thinking 2 or 3, so I would,
Yeah, the guy we've got, to get to it in about a year or two.
well, I think
We said we're ready to put them in today, 1,500.
that's,
Very good.
I think it's more positive to me, yeah.
How many?
I
3,
believe there was 3 in the quote, 2 outside, or 2 inside, 1 outside.
7?
Well, that's one quote, right? That's your,
Our quote.
yeah. So we gotta wait and see what's,
Yeah, see what the other quotes are.
I have no idea what it covers. I was just told that was the number.
That
1
was-
outside the door and 2 in the building. They had to come up with something.
Which building?
I'm guessing his highway garage.
One in each building transfer?
I don't know if 1 for the office, 1 for the shade.
public facing. All right, well, we'll have to wait till the other quotes come in and
Yeah, thanks for
see where we're
that.
going with that.
Excellent.
Transfer?
Transfer station, open 7 days a week. Building is neat and orderly. New stairs and platform have been installed for the compactor. Roll off truck has been repaired.
And the other thing we have on here is we've been kicking it around for quite a while through budget hearings in the past and conversations, meeting to meeting. We've met with the operator up at the transfer station and expressed possible wishes that's stated here, going to 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, with a lunch break. It'll probably wound up being 9:30 to 6, I believe. What is the board's pleasure on that?
Half-hour lunch.
Half-hour lunch.
Well, the best we can come up with. I mean, you know, I think I like the hour lunch concept, but in order to make it all work, if that's what you want to do, I'm good with that. 9:30 to 6, starting June 1st.
If we have to add a half an hour later, going to 9, it would be easier to do than.
That's what I would like to to shave off an hour on each end so that the people that are always there staying at the gate at 8 can come at 9, and then the people that, you know, are coming at 7, quarter of 7, whatever, are gonna have to come there by quarter of 6. But, you know, however we do it, that's the way I see it. And I think 8 hours a day, 7 days a week is plenty.
I like the coverage 7 days a week.
Yeah,
I do. I think you gotta facilitate that.
Especially bear season coming.
Oh, yeah, animal season for sure.
And we've got the other operator here. Would you like to weigh in?
Start at 8. Most of the traffic in between 8 and 2.
We've got to keep some later hours for some people that get out of work and still want to come. I know you don't get a lot of volume there, but I appreciate the suggestion, but probably not. You had to try. What is the board's pleasure? Conversation on this is giving 2 weeks notice and starting on June 1st.
Yep. Want a motion?
If you've been leading the discussion on this.
I've been pushing it, so I'll put the motion out. I get no problem with that.
Discussion, further discussion?
I appreciate still being 7 days a week. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Without having garbage pickout, I think it has to be 7 days a week in the summer.
Yeah, well, again, I think we need to start here and see where we're gonna go. I'm good with the 7. I'm thinking you could split 2 days and have 2 4-hour days. We don't need to go there now. Stick with the 7 for now. 7 and 8. It's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We'll change the sign once again. Living 80K is not here tonight.
And I didn't see a report either.
Anything on the Fern Park master plan?
I have not heard from Owen. I'm hopeful to get that by our next meeting.
Which is May 20th.
I'll call him again.
Okay.
Trying to call him.
Communications, have you heard anything more out of Herkimer regions?
Had a meeting, but I guess we didn't have a meeting between.
No.
To talk about it, so no, I haven't heard anything new other than, it's time to talk to Chip and Dave and get a regular schedule available. I know they're working on Macaulay, they've been up this week, mid-state. Completing that end of the microwave link, so things are progressing. I had great hopes that it would have been ready for Black Fly, but Steve.
No, but you have no idea how much it hurt me when I was typing this out to change this to summer fall finish.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty strong summer, but you know, I'm hoping not roll into the fall, but some tuning might take a little. It's a complex system because you now have 2 towers that have to very carefully decide which signal is the best. And then they have to vote, and then one turns on, one turns off. Transmitters go, but one receiver has to go on, one has to go off.
And I've gone on record yet again at Hamilton County that if Hamilton County interferes with the Herkimer County one, they'll be looking for another location to place that.
But they've been stalled and having their own issues, so who knows?
Yep.
Mine is for sure.
That's part of the reason why the fall's on there. All right, public hearing remains open on the 5-year update to Inlet's comprehensive master plan. Adele, have you heard anybody else come in with anything else or suggestions?
Nothing.
We had put down on here May or June town board meeting to keep it open to. We've heard nothing for the last, I think, 3 or 4 meetings now. This will be the 3rd meeting.
3rd meeting. So I just put something out today though that said you would close it on the 10th. So if you want to, or June 10th.
Okay, so I have no problem keeping it open until June 10th.
Yeah.
You should go to the-
Perfect.
Well, I think that's fine. I don't think there's a lot, obviously, there's not much comment, but holding it open until June 10th isn't gonna hurt in that way.
Not
It's
gonna
like
bother.
one last call,
Right.
you know?
All right, if anybody hasn't reviewed it and wants to review it and still wants to add an addendum or something, we're not against it,
No, never.
never. So, take a look at it. Planning board updates?
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything new.
Nothing with the signs?
No, we talked about signs. We're probably not gonna really change much signs, just some tweaking of the wordage, like, and really the only thing in our signage that we are looking at is the fact that it references something, New York State does not have. So, for temporary signs, political signs, it says to reference New York State code, and they don't have one for it, so, that should just go away, because there is nothing to reference.
Very good. All right, Parks, Building Codes, Assessor Information, not Youth Commission, sorry, I keep putting that on there. Attached, anything, you want to share from codes, sir?
Yeah, short-term rental, come see me. Other than that, I did a couple of Zoom meetings with FEMA and, like they're going forward with their plan to map all of Hamilton County for a flood zone.
Meaning just basically call all of Hamilton County a flood zone.
They're gonna do a flood zone survey overlay for all the county, and for the Fulton chain of lakes, they are doing a detailed study, which includes boots on the ground here, people from FEMA, so we'll see from that, I don't know yet, so.
About the only place that's ever flooded that I know of is our basement here.
It's the truth.
And it drives me crazy because my parents have a place over the line in Herkimer County, and the flood insurance you got to carry on a camp that sits on stilts that's 7 feet above the high water mark. It's ridiculous. But anyways,
And now, are they referring to like rain produced floods? I know a lot of the shops and stuff over on the side have flooding.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're just talking about runoff, road runoff. I think pretty much most of it is coming up from the water bodies themselves. You know, dam breaks,
I'm looking at all the water sources, the tributaries, everything that's gonna feed into
yeah, the situation that happened up in Long Lake a couple of years ago, and when ice melt came out and they had the ice dam and trees and debris that were blocking a narrow choke point. Could that create an issue on Sixth Lake? I don't know. Could it create an issue behind my house or back here? Possibly. So I'm sure they're going to reference all that, and just so people know, if you're going to be going for a mortgage, go for it now. Because
It's just gonna add to it otherwise. John's right.
You talked about this before, is how all the water runs down by the woods inn. And it just erodes right where my shop is and just tears everything apart there, but it's definitely gotten worse over the years, and even though Charlie put in a drain system, it's all clogged up and it just keeps washing away. But we've done all kinds of stone, put in there, and friends come and help do that, and it just keeps washing away I think probably last summer, it was at least a half a dozen times during the summer, just because it rained. Because it's like all the water that comes off the road. I know there's a drain up there, but it's not collecting enough. It just goes down through there.
same issue for the caboose coming off the same hill in a different direction.
That's all ledge, you can't absorb anything.
Right, it can't absorb anything. We tried to get DOT at one point to change something with their drainage because it's gonna hit their drainage eventually. Why not capture it before it creates an issue? We don't do that. So, well, yeah, but you did that up on Fifth Lake, up behind Durkin's house before Durkin's bought it and replaced it. Well, that was already existing, so we had it. No, I said, you put that in higher. I remember DOT doesn't have as much money as they used to have, so now they say they never did things. And I don't think, because that water is coming from across the road going on down by yours. DOTs should be capturing that, and they're not.
I stood down between the shop and where the tent was, down near the water. And when it's been pouring rain, water has been up to my shins. And it's been moving water, so it's just, it's a mess. It's gotta be taken care of like consistently. Winter, it's a mess after winter, and it's a mess anytime we had a good rainstorm.
But my guess is this mapping they're doing isn't going to force DOT's hand. All it's going to do is make the people in the woods in buy flood insurance.
Yeah.
And to me, it would be better if this would point out areas that could be changed or better managed, on better management. But I'm gonna climb off my soapbox. But I feel your pain.
They do want input from the communities when they do these studies, so there will be ways to contact them, and there will be an appeals process if you feel like you've been done wrong, so.
Well, let's see if we can make part of the statement of, can you not just recommend flood insurance, maybe help us with the state? Anything else? Adele?
Well, my report was late, so I was afraid I was gonna have to read the whole thing, but.
I put it on the printed copies here and if you post it on the net, it'll be on the net.
Something not in my plan is I just wanted to thank everyone that came out and cleaned up for Community Pride Day. Thank the Highway Department, and Parks Department for picking up all the trash and the bags that were left on the sides of the road. Always a good day. Did Mary send a commission?
If she did, I didn't get it.
I know that we have lifeguards coming. I believe we have 4 lifeguards coming.
Oh.
Exciting. We do have a baseball coach coming back, the same tips from last year. We are still working on getting a tennis court coach, tennis instructor, and a swim instructor. But if we don't get a swim instructor, the lifeguard Jeremiah, he's coming back again. And he said he would do half-hour lessons 1 day a week or 5 days a week.
Awesome.
If we don't get a swim instructor. And Chip sent me a report saying besides taking down snow fence, he's been back out cleaning some culverts, fixing up some old gates, put on the trails, and working on the trails, focusing on black light challenges. Right now.
And I talked to him earlier and he had been hoping to get a decent trade in on one of our drags, to get a new style drag to pull behind that the other clubs have been buying that does a better job. But the trade-in was very poor. So he's gonna, Chip being Chip, he's talking about building his own. So I'm sure he'll be able to find the scrap metal around here, there, wherever. But if anybody hasn't seen some of the stuff he's made up there, it's been pretty unbelievable.
Leave him alone, he'll do it.
Leave him alone, he'll do it.
Yeah.
And he'll paint a nice sign to put on the back of it. I threatened to have him paint one and put it on Andrew's truck and he didn't want it. Thank you for that. Town clerk's report.
I have a question, or I had somebody approach me from the library. They're in need of a cleaner. And the problem they're having finding a cleaner is none of the cleaners carry insurance. And their cleaner has to be insured. They can't just have anybody come clean. So one of the things as we, talked, I said, well, maybe what if we added them as an employee, so they're insured, and increase their rent based on what the employee costs us? Was a thought.
As an offset.
As an offset, right? So if that employee costs us $50 a month.
So they pay it, but we're covered,
Right.
and it's the same money. It's possible.
I mean, there would be no benefits to the cleaner, except that they would be insured because they would come under our liability insurance, and the library is part of the town of Inlet, so it's not far-fetched.
We pay the other employees over there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yeah. So it's not far-fetched even in a workers' comp audit or anything like that.
There'd be a 1099 or W-2 employee then. How do you do that? How would it?
Probably have to be.
It would have to be a W-2.
Two employee, and you're gonna have.
And then you're gonna have to do,
And are you gonna like bill them after the fact for the rent, or how you gonna, what if the hours change? How you gonna, how you?
no semantics should be a little bit hard.
What Kim and I talked about, it was Kim Eganhofer and I talked about it. I said, well, what if you did like, they work 3 hours a week and that's all they get. And so you're always a certain time amount. Cause she said, no, it'll only take like an hour to an hour and a half a week. We just need some simple bathroom cleaning, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they would limit that person to whatever hours we've already agreed upon to increase their rent.
I don't have a problem with it.
He's creative.
We're already insuring employees that are on the property, so
I would think it would work.
Yeah.
So I just would have to figure out what that employee is gonna cost us workers comp, what it's gonna cost us in payroll tax, all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right, right.
all of that's.
All that's gotta be figured in.
throw some out.
Okay, that was all. I
Printing
had.
up the check. No.
No, it's direct deposit. All right, that's all I had, I'm
That's
sorry.
all you had?
Yep.
All right, I still have the recreational easement on here. I will admit, everything going on, I haven't addressed that again. We moving that down for next month as well. I do have an executive session thing, but I should have put that after public comment so that everybody doesn't have to hang out and wait. Is regarding the specific performance of an employee, which is a legal reason to go into executive session. We'll do public comment. Anybody in the public? Peggy?
Just wanted to ask about the Townsend Trail again.
Sean's not here tonight, but I have on his word that they're going to, as soon as they come out of the Moose River Plains, they're going to start right in.
He did ask me if I had seen you yet, and I hadn't, because he said, tell her to come see me. Like, okay.
Yep, so
Well, I don't know.
go see Sean, but I trust me when I say I was in his office yet again, 2 weeks ago and yesterday, and having the same conversation. I said, and there are a couple of hard spots to do after Payne Seaplane Base, but getting to Payne Seaplane Base is his first priority, and then he's thinking about working from the 7th Lake House back down towards Payne Seaplane Base. And yes, that will be taking the easy work off first, but there's a couple of real grade issues, on 2 or 3 driveways. And we had met with one of the landowners there, and they want, in order for the easement to go across their property, they really want the drive changed. So we're going to have to do an elevation change on one of the driveways. That's pretty substantial. So, and he's in the plains now. Their plan is to open it before Memorial Day, if I'm not mistaken. They usually try to. But I know that's why he's not here tonight. They were in there late again today. With a backhoe.
Be able to see him because he's in there. And so.
Somebody's got to feed the flies in there.
But he had promised me, and I had hit him with that.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the plan is to get that last section done this spring, summer.
My guess is hopefully between Deer Meadows and Paynes this spring before summer. And maybe depending on how that goes, I think there's pretty good boulder just the side of Paynes. And trust me, I've studied that with the DOT, with everybody else. If he's got time, he's going to start working back from 7th Lake House. I don't know about summer, but probably fall. I'd like to, trust me when I say we would all like to get it done.
I know.
And we're not going to be doing any more paving or going through the New York State DOT grant. So that meeting that we all had together on my porch last fall.
Right.
Quite honestly, the tone from DOT, they literally wanted us to go right back to engineering and everything again. The new person down there in Utica, this got dropped on his lap, and I've never seen a faster 2-step for, if you follow these 18 regulations, will allow you to use that money
I know.
that we already have a permit for. Very frustrating, very, very frustrating.
I have one more question.
Okay,
Are you gonna have regular office hours?
I'm hoping to start regular office hours very soon. Yes.
Perfect.
I will admit sitting here that I'm still struggling with things, but I'm getting there.
Understandable.
Anybody else for public comment? Connie?
2 things. One, I was just gonna, under highway to Uncas Road, the New York State DOT speed study request response.
And Sean's not here to tell me that they still haven't gotten back to us yet.
Haven't heard anything.
No.
I know the regroups, both of them have mentioned to me that they're just past the pavement there, or right around the pavement, and people just come through there. And I've had people passing me at 60 or 70 miles an hour on Uncas Road.
Glenn was the one that was kind of spearheading the whole thing,
Yeah.
and we were all in on a email chain,
Okay,
and I had to get them something, a resolution or something. I had gotten them a while, but this was probably 6 months ago.
yeah.
And I haven't heard a word since.
Talking about the paved section?
What's that?
Are you talking about the paved?
No, actually stepping off the paved section. The problem is, you get the dust kicking up and stones and everything, and because of the railroad right away that most of those camps and now houses were built on, these people have been fixing them up into $200,000-300,000 homes. Nice glass, nice doors, nice whatever. I get it, the stuff's spraying up. What we keep hearing from DOT, and I haven't heard it this time, but I hate the broken record that state highway, and they call any road that's traversed by the public a state highway, if it's unposted, there's technically no speed limit on it.
Well, we went through this years ago.
Yeah,
And at that time, the state would not put a speed, limit on a dirt road.
they're right, that was always the
It
thing.
was always their thing. They
That was
said.
always the thing.
And it doesn't mean, so it meant the speed limit was technically, could be 55.
55, that's the top state speed.
Normally, maybe they changed since then, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tell us that.
And
Same thing. I mean, we've done this.
Thing.
It was just a
How much
couple
do
of years
you
ago,
like
we
to-
did it the last time. And they come back with the same thing every time.
and
And blacktop, we've done that before too. They come and do their formula and that's what you get.
And prior to that, we posted it on our own and got told to take them down. It was unenforceable.
Right.
Correct. We put up advisory speeds.
Yes, yeah.
And we weren't allowed to put up advisory speed signs.
At that time, we put them up, but then got told to take them.
We were, and that to me was ridiculous.
Especially, there's a lot of people out walking on this road. with
Right.
their Dogs.
Yeah.
It's got pretty popular.
Elderly people, Biking.
55 on the dirt part, that's insane.
Yeah.
At this point
We
in,
tried to get the pay portion down to 30 and they left, I believe it's 40.
Yeah.
still.
Part of it's 30, it's about half and half.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, you know, we tried to get them to do all side roads at 30.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. They might be able to get that done.
and this comment will come back to bite me, but it has to be caveat emptor, buyer beware. You know, and I believe it kicked in at some points on some of these studies. They knew where they were buying. They knew what they were buying. They were buying, you know, at that point in time, a decent price for a piece of property so they could build their house, have a camp. But, you know, find another place to walk the dog and go for a walk. I hate to say it, but it because the state refuses to back us on it. And I'll tell you right now, I put the advisory signs up again tomorrow.
Yeah, I wish we could get away with yellow and black ones,
How about speed bumps?
you know, because our.
Just saying, they work.
Black and
What a Rocky Point, they work. I'm telling
Or,
you.
or tell Sean not to replace a couple of the culverts. You know, I really don't mean to make light of it, but that's the ridiculous state it's become.
Same with the planes. You made the planes so freaking good.
You make it too good and you,
Now they want motorcycles and everything else to go in there. It was unsafe for motorcycles.
right before.
And now it's like a highway.
60 miles an hour, that road is smooth.
On a bike that you're talking. You can crank.
Individual homeowners put up signs that say slow.
They've got them.
They got him.
They've got them and they've been yelled at for putting them too close to the road. A previous administration had to get the surveyor to come down and tell a landowner to please take those sharp sticks that are pointed towards the road off the end of your driveway.
Speed bumps. I'm telling you.
You remember who that was?
I don't know how you put up speed bumps on the dirt road though.
By not filling the holes.
Ditches.
Yeah.
It becomes the double-edged sword of you don't maintain it as well as you've been maintaining it, like Danny just said.
Yeah.
And it becomes a double-edged sword. He's trying to fix all the wet spots. He's trying to fix this, that, you know, maybe a couple of planned speed bumps, you know, and not bumps, but just a little bit of a divot, but I don't know how you maintain those on a dirt road. You know, because as soon as you have something that's a deflection in the dirt, it grows.
Yeah, it's washboard.
It's just gonna washboard.
And if it creates an accident, now you're liable.
There's that too. So the yellow suggestion signs might be an idea.
Or as you said, buyer beware.
You had, well, and I hate to say that. You know, I live on Route 28. I have no expectation that everybody and their brother is going to follow the speed limit, and I do not expect the police to be sitting there 24/7. You know, I walk my dog across the street to the woods. I listen very carefully before I step across the white line. Buyer beware. You had another one, Connie?
Yeah, I just wanna see if, there's some thought or any process going about the money from the one grant there to use for goes for the police department.
He has looked into a couple of different options. The windows, obviously, that he would like to put in is kind of the same idea as the court would use, anything that is maybe, you know, breakthrough, you know, a lot of different things, which is extremely expensive. So he has thought of placing windows high. So that, so he's kind of still in limbo trying to decide what to put there,
Do you think there's enough money to do that left over from the?
Putting windows high, yes, not special windows, yeah.
Just wanna check in.
Yeah, he is gonna look into quotes on all our options and see what but, I don't think he's gotten anything from anybody, except ideas, ideas on prices.
That bothers me though, because it's a sad state we live in where you have to make the windows higher and then put a camera up so you can see what's going on outside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways, Peggy?
Speed issue. I know we talked in the past about lowering the speed limit up 28 because of the Townsend Trail. So if I remember right, was it when the trail was finished, then we could talk to the state about that?
Didn't they come back and said they took the passing lane out
They did.
Yeah, they
and
did, they
lowered
did
it
something,
again.
they lowered it.
and they lowered it?
Yeah.
They lowered it. We'd probably have to wait again, to ask for another study to see if it could be reduced even farther out. They're doing that all over though. I gotta tell you, up in Indian Lake, they pushed out some spots. They've done it in Speculator.
Oh, head now towards, it's
Yeah.
45 from.
For a
So
long time.
It is,
it
almost
it
too
wouldn't
far
hurt to
there.
ask.
There's nothing there, it's,
Got that straight stretch and they're going to spot. Another question that I had was the house numbers. I thought we were getting new numbers.
Yeah,
you're coming, Andrew's working on it.
Andrew had lunch with the guy again today. I drove by and saw both cars there and I almost stopped and I said no.
Yeah, John and I are working on them. We're still working on a couple of spots, but John's gotten tied up with his.
Job. Yeah, job, yeah,
his
other commitments.
The short-term rental part. He's got a lot of.
So when do you anticipate?
We anticipated January, but did not know.
No, but now it's May.
Yeah. I'm hopeful like, I don't know if we want to send it out July 1st
I don't think you want to do that.
and change it in the middle of summer.
No, I don't think you ought to do that.
I don't think you want to do that. I mean, you could send out the letters and advise people that you were gonna
Yeah.
do something.
You're gonna be doing something.
And it's gonna
I
take
think we want to
effect,
switch it during
Yeah.
a slow.
yeah, take effect October 1st or something and give them 6 months notice, but.
Because I will say, I don't understand it all, but shape files,
Yes.
Penny probably knows what those are, I don't know.
Mhm.
To all the different internet providers and other things, so they can get on board at the same time.
But it would be nice to do the advisory thing. Give people
Yeah.
know so that they don't get signs made up and then have to change their number again.
That's true, yeah.
You said it every board.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but,
So,
yeah, are the numbers gonna change? Like, do you have numbers?
Mhm.
The numbers are going to change.
All their,
Ones we have
Are you
now.
still waiting to finalize these numbers, or could you send something out? This is gonna be your number, it's gonna be effective.
Well, we're kind of
Starting.
double checking all the numbers before we send out. That's
They found a few mistakes.
Yeah.
that they-
we found because he went out and mapped everything. Everything's GPS now. Everything it's gonna be way nicer.
Mhm.
But we have found a couple of spots where we've got to go back and.
This was not an easy do. I've looked at the shape file and I've looked at the list that got sent me and I got a headache.
As you stare at all that stuff,
I will,
Part of the problem is years ago, everybody just had Frontier.
Right.
The phone company. Now everybody's got
yeah,
cell phones where normally we could just gone to everybody's home number and said, all right, we're gonna change it and
Yeah.
send out a thing. But now that everybody, I don't have a home phone anymore. So, you gotta make sure that the new number and that goes, it's.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be a curve where you can use either one and it's gonna be able to go back to the old one.
I believe
Yeah,
when it does go in,
yeah,
your new number will come up, but the old number should.
we'll still be there. Yeah,
For a while. It should.
yeah,
And so the dispatcher can see both
Mhm.
numbers.
right,
Yeah.
right.
What's your phone number got to do with your house number?
Because normally years ago, when we didn't have cell phones, your
your
home
landline,
Show
was
us.
tied to your house.
house number,
So they'd automatically see where you were.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not for you, but for 911.
911. The call center.
Yeah,
So now, you know,
And they still want to have reverse 911, so
right.
Yeah,
if they get a call for an alarm at, 160 State Route 28, they want to know the phone number is,
right,
Yeah.
X.
X,
So they can call them and say, hey, there's a call here.
Right.
house,
We're in the file.
right.
Cause I use like Wi-Fi calling, so mine might go, who knows where.
You're really straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, really, I mean, his call's gonna go.
And
He
then
can't do it for Wi-Fi. He can do it
the-
for almost everything else. So
the numbers are gonna be longer, so there won't be any confusion between the old numbers and the new numbers.
correct.
There shouldn't be.
Or Racket Lake, have you ever had that happen too? If,
Yeah.
like, there's a 371 Route 28 for myself in Inlet and Racket Lake. So,
Well, you get that, but
Yeah.
that's
Well, you
usually differentiated between the ESN numbers,
Right.
which is a whole different.
right, but I don't think you're gonna get
Because
that
lots
with
of
the new
places have Main
numbers.
Street.
You are.
Main Street.
Oh, you are gonna have that problem?
Well, because
Yeah.
they start Herkimer County down in where they start and they
Yeah.
come up, those numbers are there. Now they're gonna start Inlet and their numbers are gonna go up. Those numbers, there's gonna be lapse.
Well, maybe Route 28, but not like they've renamed roads and.
Right, but what I'm saying is that your numbers in another town that could be on Route
Same.
28, that could be the same.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what they did with South Shore Road is they came up from Old Forge and they didn't stop. They're gonna come all the way to Inlet on those same numbers.
Yeah.
But everything's gonna change though too, because
Yeah.
anybody, like somebody has 2 Murdoch Mountain, that'll not exist because it's gonna be 3
Three
digits.
digits.
Yeah, 3 digits,
Right.
yeah.
Everything's gonna start at every intersection.
So everything's gonna be different.
Mhm.
Okay, one more. Okay, this is the last one. I'm sorry, you're done. Oh.
Field work over at the, Fern Park, what's that?
Oh, we're doing a survey of what exists on the
Oh.
ground.
It's part of the master plan.
We're part of the master plan. So we actually have a survey where everything is, spaces and unflattered.
It's this,
Could possibly fit. Possibly move towards the master plan.
it's the same thing we did here for Arrowhead Park.
Right. So
Right,
we're-
and part of that includes a new building, that will potentially for pickleball courts and basketball court.
Yeah, I know, really.
Well, and there's some encouragement because I know Lake Pleasant just got a very large grant, to put in pickleball courts and something else, and they had a master plan.
Right. So it's a survey of what's actually there. See what's left for base or.
And then we can start plugging in what we'll put there. Definitely is one now, there's a team, there's like Tony Harper's.
It might move in the end. Eventually, we don't know. That's why we're doing the survey to see where everything is.
Right, but our goal is to try to. Stop it all.
Plus add some,
I know it gets used a lot up there, so.
it needs to be used more.
Yep,
Yeah.
Right, it's an LSAT.
It is.
okay. All right, I think everybody coming. The only thing we've got to do after executive session is pay the bills. You can stay outside if you want, or I don't see coming out of executive session with anything to give a direction to the public. This is just updating the town board on specific employees' performance.
Permission, can I add Zoom and then anything other after paying bills?
We can pay the bills and
Pay the bills now and then
Yes.
close the thing down, right?
Yeah.
That's up to you then.
all right, motion to pay highway
So move. Second that.
as presented. All in favor?
Right.
Opposed? So carried. Motion to pay general and sewer as presented by the clerk earlier.
For
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. All right, thank you, folks. Motion to go into executive session.
For-
Public leave.
I'll second that.
Discussion?